Hello and welcome back to I Pedal Japan. Today we're exploring Miura. Today we'll start from Yokosuka. We'll head south on 16 and loop around the bottom of the peninsula. This ride will be approximately 3 hours long and encompasses 61 kilometers. Now we're not going to do all 61 kilometers on video here. That would be unreasonable. We're going to show you some of the highlights and hopefully you'll be able to discover along with me some of the diversity that Miura has to offer. I hope that you enjoy this and that we can continue our adventures in the future. Let's get going. Alright, we're going to make a right here onto 16 and head south. Alright, we're going to turn left here at the Enios and head straight for a little bit before turning left again. Alright, we're turning right here and head south on the coastal road. By the way, just a couple of Japanese words that might be useful for you. Migi means right, hidari means left. So when I say I'm going to turn right, migi ni ikimasu, or left, hidari ni ikimasu. Alright, here on the left side, you're going to see Uniqlo. That's a clothing store. It's reasonably priced here in Japan, but overseas in, say, the United Kingdom, it's a luxury brand. It can be very costly to buy. Alright, on the left side, you see a fishing port. There's some boats in there, but on the far side over there, you see some small buildings, and that's where you can go to register or sign up to go out on some day excursions doing some deep sea fishing. We may do an episode on that here in the near future, so if that's your thing, stay tuned. I might add here, my legs are a little bit weak. I've been in the States for 3 months and not on the bicycle, so my riding time is not going to be as strong as it normally is. Alright, something to make a note of. From this point up, there's a bunch of cherry blossom trees. We just missed the season as I was in the States, but in the future, I hope to do a video on this again when it's all in bloom so you can see it. This is the first of the climbs for the ride. I'm hurting a little bit, but we're okay. thought I better give you a disclaimer. I do come down some of the hills pretty quick in this video, so if you're a little squirmish, you might, prepare yourself for that. I think my top speed was 54 kilometers an hour at one point. Don't worry though, I was never out of control. Everything is good. You see the lines of people there? Yeah, they're all waiting to get into that little tiny restaurant because somebody put in a magazine that it's famous in the area. Miura is a popular getaway location, and it is Golden Week. So I have to be a little more defensive in my writing. All right, coming up on the right-hand side, you're going to see a large building sitting back a little bit with large lawn in front of it. That's a museum. For all you art buffs and people who are interested in that kind of stuff, definitely stop in there and take a peek. It'll be worth your time. So you may be wondering what Golden Week. Well, Golden Week in Japan is a series of national holidays primarily celebrated late April and early May. That includes Showa Day, April 29th, Constitution Day, May 3rd, Greenery Day, May 4th, and Children's Day, May 5th. It's a period of extended public holidays, making it a popular time for travel and celebrations. All right, the Miura ride is riddled with tunnels. This is the first of several tunnels that we'll be going through. But anyways, they're kind of unique, kind of fun to go through. And some of them you get to hear loud noises in, as you'll hear later on. All right, buckle up, because I think as we go over the crest of this hill, we're going to go down fairly quick. My camera has good stabilization, but if you see my left brake handle, gear shifter there, it's really moving up and down because those lines on the road, the cross lines across the road there, to add grip when there's bad weather and whatnot, make it pretty rough on a bicycle rider. All right, we're getting ready to go across a little kind of a bridge thing right now that below it, directly below it, you can walk on the beach underneath that. That's called Glass Beach, and there's lots of pottery down there that you can pick up that washes in out of the ocean. The rumor has it that there was some old ships that sunk out here in the early years when the pottery was being made, and it was brought up into the Tokyo Bay, and some storms sunk them out here, and that pottery breaks up and washes up on the beach. I love riding the stretches of beach like this that has this beautiful, serene feeling, enjoyable, clean environment, good air. Even with the cars going by, you don't seem to notice that. It's just really nice. It's a good way to spend a day. All right, on the left side, you're going to see some racks with some green stuff hanging off. That's seaweed. They've harvested it out of the ocean and they're hanging it there to dry. left, you're going to see a boatyard. I've often teased my wife and daughters that if Japan was to become overrun, I'd come here. That's my contingency plan. I'm going to grab one of these big yachts and off we go. What would Japan be without a good torii gate and a shrine? Well, here's one in a little tiny neighborhood that I've always stopped at when I come this ride. I enjoy it. It's small, it's quaint, it has a neighborhood feel to it. Maybe we'll come back and I'll take you up in there and show you around a little bit another day. That was so loud, I could hardly stand the sound. I see a lady walking her bicycle up the hill. I say, "Gambare," which means keep going, you can do it. Then I said, "Yamaga taihen," which means mountains are difficult. She goes, "Ne," which is yes, I agree. Then I see her husband. He's struggling. I tell him, "You can do it, gambare." He nods in agreement with me. Then I see his daughter. She's riding/pushing her bike up the hill, struggling, and I give her a word of encouragement. Then I ride a little further to the top of the hill, and there's a son standing there next to his bicycle, waiting. I says, "Whoa, you made it to the top of the hill. Yoku dekimashita," which means you did well. And he just gives me a blank stare. couple of expensive cars just sitting here on the left. For you car enthusiasts, you might know what they are. I pull in left here and just kind of pull over and let you see a view of the ocean and the beach and the people out there with the windsurfing. Usually this location has a good 50 to 80 windsurfers out there at one time, with small sailboats too. Being Golden Week, there's people on the beach with their tents, but normally there would be even more there. All right, you see the motorcycle gang there. Well, we're going to interact here in just a minute. Just a little bit of fun, that's all. I thought I'd have a little bit of fun with them, so as I pull up amongst them, I give them the rev symbol and made a vroom 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 noise. I just thought I'd share a little side note with you. In Japan, there's a term called BGM, background music. Thought you'd like to know that. We've entered the pain zone. I had to turn off to the right here, which goes up on this overpass bridge thing, and climb it. My legs weren't feeling great, but we made it. Took some time. Just got to take it down in the low gear and slow, low and slow. Here we go. The grind zone. I mentioned earlier on the video Golden Week. Well, one of the holidays that's celebrated in Golden Week is Kodomo no Hi, which is Children's Day. And on Children's Day, families with boys light huge carp-shaped streamers, or koi nobori, outside the house and display dolls of famous warriors and other heroes inside. The carp was chosen because it symbolizes strength and success. According to a legend, a carp swam upstream to become a dragon. Well, if you haven't figured it out, we're in farm country. And in Miura, farm country means one thing: daikon. Daikon is a big radish, and it's eaten by most Japanese people throughout the country. Well, just from the little bit of Miura that you've seen, you can see that they use their land real well. Everything is planned out, very well established, but what you're probably not realizing is that there's a big climb coming. So Miura is sitting up high on the peninsula, and right now I'm kind of down a little bit low in it, and I have to climb up out of this in order to get a home. So here starts the climb. On the right side here, we see a white torii gate leading up some stairs to a shrine up there. I've never been to this shrine. We may come back and explore it another time, but my point is that shrines are not just in the cities, they're all over. They're dotted all over the country. During our explorations of these shrines, you'll find that inside of them are some of the greatest treasures Japan has. It's the art. It's one-of-a-kind art pieces that are painted directly on the walls and the ceilings of the buildings. Well, as we come to a close with this adventure of Miura, I hope that you learned and understand and appreciate the diversity of Miura. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you in the future.